When the message matters, make it unforgettable with JournalBooks. Since 1971, JournalBooks has been helping brands tell their story through premium, made-to-order customizable journals, designed and produced in the U.S. at our Charlotte, North Carolina facility. From full-color printing and custom inserts, to debossing, foil stamping, die cutting, and luxury packaging, every detail is thoughtfully designed to elevate your brand through an easy and quick process handled by JournalBooks' inside team of expert professionals. Need it fast? Most custom orders ship in just 5 to 7 days after proof approval, and JournalBooks offers over 80 items available for quick ship in as few as 3 days. Whether it's for a convention or conference giveaway, client gifting, employee training, a new launch, or an everyday brand touchpoint, JournalBooks turns custom notebooks into lasting impressions. JournalBooks, for when the message matters.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Promo Perspectives. My name is Nicole Cook, and I'm your host. And today I am joined by a very special guest who is from JournalBooks with PCNA. Don, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself to our listeners.
Well, yes, thank you, Nicole. Hi, I'm Don Manchester, part of the business development team supporting JournalBooks line at PCNA. For those of you that may not be familiar with JournalBooks, we're a single category supplier within PCNA, and we actually manufacture customized journals and notebooks here in the US and have been doing that for more than 50 years. What really makes us unique is that we're not just simply decorating notebooks or journals. We customize and specialize in helping the distributor create a brand experience for their client. Whether that's a single logo application or completely made-to-order project with unique materials, inserts, packaging, and overall construction. Our team actually works closely with the distributor to help bring ideas to life.
Awesome. And can you talk a little bit about your role at PCNA and what is your involvement with the JournalBooks line?
Sure. So I tend to work with a lot of the national accounts in the promo industry, but I also have a set of focused accounts as well as traveling, doing ASI trade shows, PPAI, some regionals. So obviously tapping into those national sales meetings. Recently, JournalBooks has been participating in the ASI Facilitate types of events. So I do go there. So those EMA style events, I'm out there trying to help people understand JournalBooks and make them a little bit more comfortable because we know it can be a complex product and sometimes scary. So we want to make that simple for them.
Yes. And I've gotten to interact with JournalBooks out at a trade show before, and I love the product. So
Oh, thank you.
yes.
I joined the promotional products industry probably 24 years ago. And I remember my first trade show going out and seeing things. I'm like, wow. One thing that resonated with me is like someone had a balsam wood airplane with a logo onto it. I'm like, okay, that's different, but just seeing what we offered and everything in the industry, it's all unique, so that's what makes JournalBooks nice.
Yeah, it is true. And you're so right about just like the uniqueness of the industry too. I'm new to the industry, it'll be 2 years in July. So I feel like I'm still getting immersed into it, but I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. The relationships are awesome.
Yes, totally. So I want to kind of spend today talking a little bit about the sourcing side of being a supplier. And so can you explain to someone who's listening who may not totally understand, what does sourcing mean from a supplier perspective?
In my experience, usually sourcing is kind of like a problem solving and collaborative correlation. A customer may come to them with a vision or maybe a campaign idea, or they might have specific brand standards. So, in our job, part of mine and the team at JournalBooks is to help them find the best solutions to bring that concept to life. Okay. Sometimes it means selecting an existing product. And then in other cases, it means making something completely unique and more tailored towards that customer's needs. And that's the nice thing about JournalBooks. We've found out in my personal experiences that journals tend to be tactile and it's more of a personal product that people use on an everyday basis. So when you come into sourcing, it's less about picking an actual item, but more of creating a brand experience and telling the client story.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that way of putting it. It's not just picking a product and calling it a day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you want to make it meaningful for whatever application they're using it, whether it's onboarding or maybe an event, so
Hmm.
that's how we can, make it more of a brand experience and tapping into some of the print marketing budget that somebody might have. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. And what does the process look behind the scenes at PCNA?
So like I said, it's kind of collaborative. So distributors have multiple ways of reaching out to us, whether they go directly to someone at PCNA that they have a relationship, or maybe myself that they've built a relationship over the years, or maybe they just go kind of like the generic route to JournalBooks, okay, and get someone on our inside sales team. So it becomes collaborative. So we have multiple layers within our organization that work together. And obviously if it goes on the PCNA side, they will flip it over to JournalBooks, and that's how we start to
Mhm.
interact. Um, so what we'll do is to help the distributor, now that's in JournalBooks hands, kind of get some information, maybe brand guidelines as far as a turn time, what they're looking to try and do, and ask a few important questions, and so we can help collaborate and help them decide what product best fits their client's budget
Mhm.
needs and stuff of that nature. Um, because we do have flexibility, being we're a USA based manufacturing company, to kind of like tailor a product to meet their enhanced date.
Mhm.
A lot of people think of us as custom, but that's truly not the case. We can make it as simple as possible for them.
Mhm.
Our turn times, they'll think that it's long. On average, we're probably turning a product in 7 to 10 business days.
Oh, nice.
We do have the availability for sure ship. So if they need something within 24 hours, yes, Journal Books can get something out of our doors in 24 hours to meet their client's event.
Nice.
And then when you think of that customized product, maybe a custom shaped window, special printed filler in a layout or something of that nature, you're only looking at about 12 to 15 business days for physical production. So it's not a long drawn out process.
Yeah, that's awesome. You kind of touched on it, but what are some of the customization requests that you guys see?
Yeah. Typically, someone will reach out to saying, hey, they maybe have an onboarding experience, or they're looking to do something at a meeting giveaway, or they want something more of a premium gift. So
Hmm.
that's what we'll come in and learn a little bit about the end user, okay, who's going to get the journal. So our team, like if we're doing virtuals, will tap into their website and give us a couple of days, and we'll tailor a product for that specific event if we're given that information. A lot of times people are actually asking for branding on the inserts, maybe a little bit of, hey, welcome to the team information,
Hmm.
points of contact, within the organization. A lot of times it's a thank you gift. So they're doing a letter thanking the employee for their dedication, stuff of that nature. And then if it's an event related, sometimes they're putting QR codes onto the inserts to maybe use towards sponsorship. So if they're on site someplace and there's a restaurant, they can use the QR
Hmm.
code to see what's at the restaurant and so forth. Some other features are unique decorations that we offer, our packaging. So we can, put in a nice two-piece gift box decorated with two tissue on the inside to make it more of a welcoming gift when someone gets it, more of an impactful,
Nice. Yeah.
meaningful experience.
Yeah, that is awesome. And again, I've seen them, so I can confirm
I
that.
wish I could show you a bunch of stuff as we're going through this because,
I know.
when we get out there and I show people the product, it's like light bulb goes off,
Hmm.
It's like I didn't realize,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
I did one recently for a distillery, and basically they talked about what the product is in the distillery for the informational pages, the inserts, but then
hmm.
also they did something playful by adding a QR code to a playlist on Spotify as the
Oh,
user opened up the journal, went through, kind of learned a little bit about it, and then they could scan that QR code and it took them to the Spotify and they could listen to their playlist that they had created. So
That's
that's
so
how you can
smart.
tap into different types of media,
Yeah, I really like that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, for working with distributors, what's the advantage for distributors when working with a supplier on sourcing? And again, I think you've kind of touched on it, but just to
Yeah.
expand a little bit on what their benefits are.
So, with us at Journal Books, we kind of become almost Google proof in a way
Mm,
for the distributor. Because again, we're not always, we have the ability to take a product and just throw a logo onto it,
right.
which, any end user can kind of just like Google and say, hey, find this product for me. So with our aspect and making it unique just for that end user, it gives the distributor more of a tying relationship because that product's not so easily shopped.
Mm, yeah.
Okay. And then, once they've had success with this, they tend to repeat. And, on average, that client will repeat about 50%,
Oh, wow.
of
Nice.
our orders are about 50% repeat. So they may not always do the same journal all the time.
Uh-huh.
So they might mix it up based on what the need is. So once they get a taste for what a journal can do for their
Hmm.
company, it's like, hey, how else can we utilize this?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and that's where I think the relationships that our team does at Journal Books with the distributors makes it really meaningful and a bonding experience.
Hmm. And when they're reaching out to you guys, what information should they provide you or make sure that they talk to you guys about so that they're able to get this experience that they're wanting to have?
Yeah, I mean, there are those that just say, "Hey, I'm looking for a journal. What do you have to suggest?"
Uh-huh.
And then it's kind of wide open then. It's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you have a budget? Do you have, an event that it's being used for? Do you have a certain enhanced date? Are there brand guidelines? So we kind of, if we can pull out a little bit of information, knowing what we're dealing with artwork, knowing what we're dealing with a budget or even
Hmm.
time constraint, we can pick and help select a few items that meets that time frame, budget, or the desired decoration ideas
Hmm.
that they might already have in play. So just a few of those little questions, and it doesn't have to be extensive, but primarily budget, the intended use,
Yeah.
quantity obviously is a driver. Um, that just a little bit of information helps us out.
Yeah. Nice. And then you guys can take it from there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and if we go the virtual route and we show good, better, best is what we like to do.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times we'll show something below their budget, something within the budget, maybe something top end. And one
Okay.
thing that we've noticed when we do the virtual concepts is, or even position as a product option, is they'll tend to say, "Hey, I like features of each one of these. How can we merge them together?" And
Hmm.
that's what's nice with journal books because we have that ability to come back and reposition something.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll give you another chance to plug. If someone is wanting to get started with a journal book, how can they do so? What are the avenues that they can reach out?
Um, Obviously, if they have a relationship with somebody at PCNA already, so whether it's their field sales manager or their inside people, if they don't have a relationship, we do have sales at journalbooks.com. It's kind of like a generic pool where the distributor can send in, hey, I need some product ideas.
Hmm.
Or if they're seeking creative virtual ideas and it kind of have something preliminary put together, we have a creative team that they can reach out directly, and that's creative at journalbooks.com. And so these two departments, sales and creative, work simultaneously together. So we'll tend to partner up. If something comes into sales, that person in sales will say, hey, I need virtuals, and both people can help the distributor along.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Don, for joining me today.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Of course. And again, if anybody has not checked out journal books, please go do so. They are so, so cool. And we will see you guys next time on our next episode of Promo Perspectives.
Thank you all.